The internet is shaking tonight. Not buzzing. Not trending. Shaking. Because Tamar Braxton didn't just open her mouth. She blew the entire celebrity world off its hinges. She went live with eyes blazing, voice trembling, and a truth so volatile that even the Braxton family couldn't hide from it. And what she revealed? It wasn't gossip. It wasn't speculation. It was an explosion. Tamar said she'd held this in for years. Said she'd protected Toni. Said she'd kept quiet to avoid chaos. But not anymore. The moment she whispered, "You don't know the half of what really happened," every blog, every fan page, every gossip site froze mid-scroll. This wasn't tea. This was nuclear material. According to Tamar, Toni Braxton and Birdman's marriage wasn't just secret. It was stormy. It was layered with things no one outside their circle was ever supposed to hear. Birdman's team reportedly went into panic mode. Toni's camp scrambled to silence leaks they didn't even know existed. Because Tamar didn't imply anything. She declared it. She spoke about hidden fights. Unspoken regrets. Late-night confessions Toni never wanted repeated. And then, with a stare that sent chills across the internet, Tamar delivered the line that turned everything upside down. "What Toni told me that night will haunt her forever." Fans begged for answers. Industry insiders freaked out. And the world demanded to know exactly what Tamar meant. Tamar's live stream wasn't supposed to blow up like this. She had gone live dozens of times before, laughing, singing, dragging trolls, spilling light tea for entertainment. But tonight, something in her face was different. Something in her tone felt heavier. And the second she mentioned Toni and Birdman's marriage, the comment section didn't just react, it combusted. People were typing so fast the feed couldn't keep up. Fans begged her to slow down, to breathe, to explain what she meant. But Tamar didn't slow down. She didn't even blink. She looked like a woman who had been waiting years to finally let something snap. She started by saying, "I'm tired of protecting adults who don't protect themselves." And instantly, the energy in the room shifted. Her voice cracked. Her eyes glistened. The tension around her shoulders loosened. It was like she had been carrying Toni's secrets for so long that finally releasing them felt like oxygen. Then she leaned closer to the camera and said, "You don't know the truth about that marriage. Not the real truth." The internet erupted in panic. What marriage? The secret one. The one nobody knew happened until court records leaked. Tamar didn't care about the chaos. She pushed forward. She said Toni wasn't herself during that time. Said she watched her sister crumble in ways no fan ever saw. Said Birdman wasn't the calm, quiet protector the media painted him to be. Said there were nights Toni called her shaking, whispering things she swore she'd never repeat. The story intensified quickly. Tamar described a moment months before the rumored wedding, one of those nights the world knew nothing about, when Toni showed up at her house without warning. No makeup. No glam. No calm. Just fear. According to Tamar, Toni walked inside, shut all the blinds, and whispered, "I don't know if I'm making the biggest mistake of my life." That sentence alone broke the internet. Fans believed Toni was the confident one, the collected one, the sister who kept her composure even when everything fell apart. But Tamar said that night shattered the illusion. Toni wasn't calm. She wasn't sure. She wasn't in control. Tamar said Toni told her something Birdman said during a private argument. Something Tamar refused to repeat on live stream. She looked at the screen, swallowed hard, and said, "Some things can ruin a person if they get out." That was the moment viewers knew the truth wasn't just messy. It was dangerous. Then Tamar dropped the first bombshell. Toni's wedding wasn't romantic. It wasn't spontaneous. Tamar claimed Toni warned her it felt rushed. Pressured. Like she was being swept into something she couldn't slow down. And 2 days later, Toni filing for divorce suddenly made sense. Tamar replayed the moment she received the news. She said she screamed when she saw the documents, because she knew exactly why Toni did it. She didn't reveal the reason, but she said Toni acted out of fear, not anger. And fear, Tamar said, makes people move fast. But the wildest twist came next. Tamar claimed there were text messages between Toni and a close friend, messages Tamar said she saw with her own eyes, where Toni admitted she felt trapped. That word rattled the entire fandom. Trapped. By Birdman. Emotionally. Financially. Legally. What did she mean? Tamar didn't clarify. She simply said those messages explained everything. Then she shifted gears, saying Birdman's world wasn't like theirs. He had different rules. Different people. Different shadows. And Toni wasn't prepared for the weight of that lifestyle. Tamar insisted Toni kept quiet publicly, but privately she broke down more than people realized. She said Toni confessed she wasn't sure she and Birdman even wanted the same kind of marriage. She hinted they had different visions, different boundaries, different expectations. And that disconnect became a war behind closed doors. Then came the second bombshell. Tamar claimed there was audio. She said there was a voice note Toni sent in the middle of the night, crying, saying, "I shouldn't have done this. I'm scared. I didn't listen." Tamar refused to play it. She said the world wasn't ready. But fans went into meltdown imagining what could have driven Toni to record something that raw. Social media exploded. #Braxton leak trended instantly. Birdman's name lit up like fireworks. Old interviews resurfaced. Clips of Toni dodging relationship questions went viral. People dissected every gesture, every expression, every silence. And Tamar. She wasn't done. She said the withdrawal of the divorce filing wasn't reconciliation. It wasn't forgiveness. It wasn't romantic. According to her, Toni pulled the documents because something shifted. Tamar didn't say what shifted. She just gave the camera a long, heavy stare, the kind of stare that says the truth is worse than you think. She said there were people around Birdman who didn't want the divorce. Said they had interests. Said they had influence. Tamar hinted Toni got phone calls, unexpected visits, and pressure from people she barely knew. People who wanted the marriage to stay intact, for reasons that weren't about love. Fans screamed in the comments, demanding names. Tamar refused. She just muttered, "You don't know who you're dealing with." Then she pivoted again, revealing Toni kept certain details from the rest of the family. Even from their mom. Tamar said she found out things by accident, messages left open, calls overheard, whispers between Toni and Birdman when they thought no one else was around. One night, Tamar overheard something so shocking she said it changed how she saw everything. She refused to repeat it, but she said it explained why Toni suddenly stopped wearing her ring, why she avoided the cameras, and why she withdrew emotionally even from her sisters. Then came the third bombshell. Tamar said one of Birdman's associates tried contacting her. She didn't say who. She didn't say why. But she said the conversation left her shaking. She claimed the person told her, "You don't know the whole story. You don't want to." That line sent chills through the live stream. Then Tamar admitted something that made the entire comment section freeze. She said Toni told her a secret the night she fled the house. A secret Tamar swore she'd never repeat. A secret she regrets knowing. A secret, she said, explains the marriage, the divorce, the withdrawal, and the silence. A supposed insider from the Braxton Family Values production team tweeted that Tamar had been carrying this secret for over 5 years. She tried revealing it once during filming, but producers cut the entire scene. Not because they wanted to protect Toni, but because they were legally forced to remove it. That revelation sent shockwaves everywhere. Meanwhile, Tamar stayed silent. No posts. No clarifications. No explanations. But Toni Braxton broke her silence first. She posted a black screen on Instagram with one chilling sentence: "Some things were never meant to be public." Fans read it as confirmation that Tamar's secret was real. And dangerous. And protected. Birdman, on the other hand, posted something entirely different. He uploaded a photo of himself smirking with the caption, "I don't fold. I don't flinch." It wasn't just cryptic. It felt like a warning. The tension skyrocketed when an account claiming to be one of Toni's close friends uploaded a voice note, allegedly sent by Tamar right after the live stream collapse. In the clip, Tamar's voice was frantic, trembling, almost breaking. "They're trying to shut me up. They said the marriage was never just a marriage. They said it was an arrangement." Arrangement. That word spread across the internet like wildfire. Arranged how? Arranged by who? For what purpose? Theories erupted everywhere, and celebrities began chiming in. Michelle tweeted, "Told you all for years the Braxton stuff was deeper." Then deleted it minutes later. Nene Leakes posted a single popcorn GIF, which she also deleted. Even 50 Cent jumped in, writing, "Tamar finna mess around and expose the whole industry by accident." But the chaos didn't stop there. A leaked text thread, supposedly between Tamar and a family member, surfaced on a fan page. The messages were blurred, but readable enough to cause pandemonium. Tamar allegedly wrote, "She doesn't want anyone knowing what he made her promise. That's the real reason she tried to run." The words, "what he made her promise," sent social media into meltdown. Was Toni pressured? Coerced? Manipulated? Nobody knew, but the next part of the leaked thread made things even worse. Tamar allegedly wrote, "She begged me not to tell. But she can't keep carrying the blame alone." That single sentence triggered one of the biggest internet explosions in Braxton family history. People began digging, reposting, speculating, creating timelines, matching Toni's old interviews against Birdman's public behavior. Fans pointed out moments where Toni seemed nervous around questions about marriage. They replayed her interviews where she laughed too hard, dodged too quickly, or grew quiet too suddenly. Everything began to make sense. But then another twist crashed through the narrative. A longtime Cash Money associate went live on TikTok claiming he knew why Toni filed for divorce just 2 days after the wedding. He said there was a financial bombshell Toni discovered immediately after signing the paperwork. He wouldn't explain further but said, "Birdman don't do relationships normal. It's business too." That statement ricocheted across social media. Was Toni trapped in a financial agreement? A debt? A shared liability? A contract? People began to panic. Then the associate said something even more shocking. "Tamar ain't lying. Toni told her everything." But Tamar only knows half the story. Half? If Tamar only knew half. What was the other half? And who else knew it? The mystery intensified when a private Instagram story from Tamar leaked. She recorded herself crying in her car, whispering, "I didn't want to hurt her. I just wanted her free." Free from what? Free from who? That question dominated every social platform. Birdman finally responded publicly, not with words, but bodyguards escorting him into a building while paparazzi shouted questions. He ignored all of them. But one reporter yelled, "Is it true Toni tried to escape the marriage?" Birdman turned his head sharply at the word escape before walking inside. Escape. That word detonated online conversations into uncontrollable hysteria. But the final twist of the night came from a source nobody expected, Toni herself. A Braxton fan page leaked a screenshot of a private message Toni allegedly sent to a close friend. It was only one sentence, but it nearly broke the internet. "Tamar shouldn't have said anything. He warned me this would happen. He warned me." Fans immediately demanded to know who he was. Birdman. Someone else. A lawyer. An enforcer. A business partner. Theories spread like wildfire, but nothing prepared the internet for what happened next. TMZ reported that Tamar's phone had been compromised. They didn't explain how. They didn't say by who. But they confirmed Tamar told police she feared someone was trying to access her private messages. Within minutes of that report dropping, Tamar finally returned to Instagram with a shaky, dimly lit video. Her eyes were red. Her voice was hoarse. She looked exhausted. She said, "I wasn't supposed to say it. I know that now. But y'all don't understand. Toni didn't just go through heartbreak. She went through something that changed her. Something none of y'all would survive." She took a breath. Then she whispered, "And the thing she told me that night was only the beginning." And the video ended abruptly, no explanation, no closure, no context. The world was left staring at their screens, breathless, terrified, desperate to know what Tamar meant. And what, exactly, Toni Braxton survived. Tamar's final whisper didn't calm the storm. It multiplied it. Within minutes, her video spread across every corner of the internet, reposted, analyzed, slowed down, captioned, re-edited, and dissected like a crime scene. Fans claimed they heard someone breathing heavily behind the camera. Others insisted someone whispered, "Stop talking," before the clip cut. Nobody could agree on the details, but everyone agreed on one thing: Tamar was scared. And when Tamar Braxton is scared, something is seriously wrong. Comments poured in from celebrities, who usually stay quiet. Lonnie Love tweeted, "Praying for the Braxton sisters tonight." Tia Mowry posted a broken heart. Even Missy Elliott wrote a cryptic message about truth-breaking chains. The entire entertainment world sensed something was unraveling. But the real earthquake didn't hit until an insider, someone claiming to be from Toni's medical team, posted anonymously on Reddit. The account said Toni suffered a severe emotional event the night she told Tamar the secret. They claimed she had to be monitored for hours because she couldn't stop shaking. The post ended with one sentence: she said she feared the consequences. Consequences of what? Consequences from who? As fans demanded answers, a journalist from a major magazine released a voice memo she claimed Tamar sent her years ago. In the memo, Tamar's voice trembled as she said, "I don't know why she married him. I don't think she had a choice." That line became the center of every debate, every theory, every argument happening online. Did Toni mean emotional pressure? Legal pressure? Financial leverage? Something darker? Nobody knew. Meanwhile, Toni Braxton went completely silent. No tweets. No statements. No denials. Nothing. But her silence didn't stop the leaks. Someone from Toni's inner circle anonymously sent a text thread to a gossip blog. The messages appeared to be between Toni and a confidant. In one text, Toni wrote, "I knew the marriage wouldn't last. Not with what he asked of me. That sentence threw gasoline on an already raging inferno. What did Birdman ask of her? Take everything. Take what? Her money. Her music catalog. Her home. Her freedom. Fans lost their minds. Then a former Cash Money artist entered the conversation. He went on Instagram Live claiming he saw things back then that made Birdman's relationships complicated. He never said what those things were, but he warned Toni supporters to pray hard. People didn't know whether to take him seriously, until he added one chilling detail: Birdman don't play about contracts. Contracts. That one word sent panic through the fandom. Everyone raced to look up Toni's financial history. Her bankruptcies. Her lawsuits. Her health issues. Her medical bills. Her reliance on touring money. Her dependence on management. Everything pointed in the same direction. When Toni married Birdman, she wasn't in a position of power. And that made the next leak even more shocking. A journalist released an email from an anonymous Braxton family member. The email said Toni's biggest fear wasn't the wedding, it was the divorce. Because she allegedly signed something that gave Birdman temporary control over certain assets. And if she left too soon, those assets wouldn't return. Fans were stunned. Did Toni marry Birdman to escape one trap only to land in another? As speculation reached a tipping point, Tamar suddenly returned live. She didn't sing. She didn't joke. She didn't smile. She looked emotionally drained, mascara smudged, hair pulled back, eyes swollen. She said she wasn't afraid for herself. She was afraid for Toni. Tamar said Toni never told her everything, only enough to make her worry. She said Toni once warned her, if anything happens, check the safe. Tamar wouldn't explain what that meant. She said Toni whispered that phrase the night before she withdrew her divorce filing. Then Tamar revealed something that made fans scream. She said Toni never withdrew the divorce, because she forgave Birdman. Toni withdrew it, because someone convinced her divorcing him would destroy everything she built. Tamar teared up. She whispered, my sister didn't get her fairy tale. She got a deal. She didn't clarify the deal. She didn't name names. She didn't accuse anyone. She didn't point fingers. But she said one final sentence before her live stream abruptly ended again, and the reason she stayed is the same reason she can't speak now. The feed cut instantly. No warning. No goodbye. No explanation. Fans watched helplessly as Tamar vanished for the second time, in less than 24 hours. But this time, it wasn't just a glitch. Because seconds later, a message appeared on Tamar's Instagram story. A black background with one sentence, they found out. And below it, a location ping. Toni Braxton's house. If you're still here right now, heart pounding, breath short, mind racing through every twist Tamar just unleashed, then you already know this isn't just celebrity news anymore. This is a revelation. A fracture in the polished world Toni tried to protect. A storm Tamar could no longer hold back. And what comes next will not only rewrite everything we thought we knew about Toni and Birdman's marriage, it will expose the hidden machinery behind it. The choices. The pressure. The secrets nobody was ever supposed to hear. But listen closely. This story is only just beginning. The leaks are spreading faster than anyone can contain. The insiders are talking. Tamar's live stream keeps disappearing. And now, with her last message pointing straight to Toni's house, the situation is shifting in real time. That means the next chapter could drop at any moment, and if you blink, even once, you'll miss the truth unfolding in ways nobody imagined. So here's what you need to do. Hit like right now if your jaw hit the floor. Drop a comment with your theory, your suspicion, your prediction, because the craziest one might be the one that turns out to be right. And for your own sake, subscribe with notifications on. Not tomorrow. Not later. Now. Because the next episode is where everything shatters. The real players step forward. And the truth Tamar hinted at, finally takes shape. You don't want to be the one hearing about it secondhand. This is the moment the Braxton story explodes. And you need to be here when it does.